external things, people, money, wealth, and these things, they're all temporary. In theory, you could spend your whole life chasing those things. You can do that. Of course you can do that. Many people do that. I personally wouldn't recommend you to do that because it's an absolute waste of time. Your happiness, your fulfillment should come from you. You can be fullness. Every time you chase something in the outside is a sign of something is missing inside you. So unless you find fulfillment inside of you, you can chase anything outwards and won't get fulfilled. Like for some people, it's like the degree, the money, or anything like this. And they think once they achieve this, they're finally happy or whatever. It's like when I finally achieve this, then I can relax, then I have a happy life. But until then, I have to fight for whatever you want. Imagine yourself as a kid when you were in the toy store and you wanted a toy, and as soon as you had the toy, you soon lost interest in it. And why is that so? Why was that so? And why is that you can transfer this to your desires nowadays? Because society makes things more important than they are for the individual. The difference to you back then when you was a child and to now is that you could waste your whole life chasing that thing in the outward that society told you to desire. And back then it was just like you cried for 5 minutes and then it was okay. And I don't say you shouldn't like money or stuff, but you shouldn't make your luck dependent on the amount of money you have in your bank account. And don't be sad if it's not there. I mean, there probably will be times you will have more money and times you will have less money. So it's just, a natural cycle. True fulfillment comes from an inner source. And it's always there. It was always there. And you just have to reconnect yourself with this source. And that's something no one can take from you. In general, there are 3 state of minds. The first state of mind is the state of making. In this state, you always have to do something to be. You have to work out, you have to exercise, simply like you have to do something to be enough, to be good enough. Then there is the state of having. It's like you have to have a partner, you have to have the money to be good enough. And most people are stuck in one of those 2 states. And that is like the state of where you connect your life with a fight. You have to fight. In German we say you have to fight for a place in the sun. I don't know if it's used in English, but I think you get my point. And those people make their luck or their fulfillment dependent on a moment in the future. And the present moment is like a tool to get to another moment. And as soon as you get to this other moment, it's still not enough. They rush through the world without ever arriving. And they always think like, oh, once I am there or once I do this, then I'm finally good enough. And often if something happens and they can't do or they don't achieve something, they feel empty. They feel empty. So to become fulfilled, you can go into the state of being. And that's the only state of those 3 whose source of energy comes from inside. You allow yourself to be. It's like you surrender, you give up in some kind of thing. You stop fighting with yourself. And this state will bring you some kind of lightness, or how can I say, yes, lightness. You don't have to do something anymore, but you can. You allow yourself to create something. That's the only state in which you can really create. You don't train anymore to become muscular, to be good enough or shit. You train because you intend to be a healthy person, and that you do the same things than you did before, but the source is different. All those state of minds are finally a state of being. You have to be a hustler. You have to be the person who has money. But the only state where you arrive and actually have fulfillment is the state of being. You will go through situations with a feeling of calmness, and life will become a party, or whatever you want to call it. It's like not a party, but like it will become really smooth. And as you are fullness, through the law of attraction, you will attract even more fullness in your life. And in the end, you have created an upward spiral. See it like this. It's like you give up, you end your fight. And as you hear this, you may feel some sort of rejection, I don't know, because your ego will not like what I say right now, because it's the end of the ego. And you can realize that your ego, or whatever you want to call it, is the only thing that will ever stand in your way. A state of peace you desired from a thing you chased in the outwards, but in the end it was always there inside you. You just have to some kind of rediscover it. Once you're empty, you can refill yourself with things that you actually like to do. The energy behind your action is another. The source behind your action is the source of your fulfillment, not of the feeling of that the state of something is missing, like you have to have something to be. So come in the state of being. You are enough. You are great and unique and special. I wish you all the best. Peace.